by lying on your back. So just get yourself lying down to an easy position, just one where you can bring your awareness to the weight of your body on the floor. Yoga is really more about breathing than it is whether you can touch your toes. It's about stilling your mind and your body. One of the added benefits of bringing yourself to that stillness and that mindfulness is that it helps to decrease stress. When you're stressed, your cortisol levels increase. Cortisol is just a hormone that's produced during times of stress. It's meant to get you excited and strong and fast. Unfortunately, that cortisol also lowers immune response. So our goal here, the reason we started this whole thing, is to help people to build immunity through mindfulness, through breathing. So just be aware of that today. If something doesn't feel good, stop it or modify it. So just start to bring your awareness to your breath. A deep inhale to your belly, in through your nose. And as the air leaves, just let your body melt. Let it melt into the floor. Close your eyes and feel the sensation of your next breath as it enters in through your nose. As that breath leaves your body, feel the warmth of it as it comes up through your throat, out your nose and across your upper lip. Deep inhales, slow exhales. So we're going to start by bending your left knee. So your left knee is bent, your left foot flat, your right leg stays straight. We're going to engage the muscles of that right leg by gently pulling the toes back and reaching the heel forward, as if you were trying to touch a wall in front of you with the heel of your foot. That's locking down your fascia, that's creating an anchor. As you inhale through your nose, filling your lungs from the bottom, let your arms rise up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, let your arms fall to the floor behind you. Now, as you inhale, reach back with your fingertips and reach forward with that right heel and see if you can bring yourself to the awareness of that deep stretch. As you exhale, use the full length of your exhale to bring your arms back down and by your side. So we're just doing a gentle loosening of the hamstring, of the fascia that surrounds the hamstring and the nerves, the lymph tissue down into your legs. When your fingertips touch the floor, just reverse the direction, inhaling through your nose, filling your lungs with air from the bottom, letting your arms rise up towards the ceiling. Follow your own breath. As you empty your lungs, let your arms fall to the floor behind you. Inhale, reach back with your fingertips, reach forward with that heel, feel that stretch. Exhale, bringing your arms back down and by your side. One more time, taking a deep inhale, letting your arms rise up. Slow exhale, allowing your arms to fall to the floor behind you. We're going to leave your arms right here. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, pull your belly to your spine, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling, and then let your arms float down to hold behind the thigh of that right leg. Pull the toes of your right foot down towards your nose and feel that gentle stretch as you reach your heel up towards the ceiling. And breathe. No struggles, no strains. Take a deep inhale, fill your belly with air, feel your lungs expanding. As you exhale, gently pull your right knee into your chest. Shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. Take a deep inhale here, feel your belly pulling into your thigh as you inhale. As you exhale, straighten your right leg back to the ceiling. Breathe. Pull the toes down, reach the heel up. No tingling, no numbness. If you feel anything like that, just back off. On your exhale, gently draw that knee back to your chest. Shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, straighten it up to the ceiling. One more time. So holding your leg there, we're going to hold this hamstring stretch while we just rotate our ankles So point your toes towards the ceiling and slowly begin to circle your toes around as if you were trying to draw a small circle on the ceiling. So we're still stretching your hamstring. We're still trying to maintain a nice straight leg. One more full circle with your ankle, and then reverse your direction. So you may hear crackling, you may hear popping, snapping. It doesn't mean you're old, it just means you're dry. So drink a little water. It just means that the ligaments that surround your ankle aren't used to getting lubricated. They're not used to this motion. So it's a really good thing to try and do on a regular basis. One more full circle, and then point your toe towards the ceiling, and then pull your toes down and reach that heel up again. Straightening your left leg to the ground. If that bothers your back, just leave that left knee bent. So you've just added a little bit more to that hamstring stretch just by turning the pelvis down on the opposite side. Squeeze your quadricep muscle, reach that heel to the ceiling, and breathe. Now gently, as you exhale, pull your right knee back into your chest. Holding that knee into your chest, letting your shoulders relax, letting your jaw relax. Gently allow your right arm to release down to the floor by your side like half of the letter T. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, use your left arm to pull your right knee across your body towards the left, a small spinal twist. If you'd like and it doesn't bother your neck, turn your head to look at your right arm. No struggles, no strains. So you have a choice here. You can either stay just like this, or you can straighten your right leg out completely, holding on to the big toe of that right foot with the first two fingers of your left hand, or use your strap, or just keep your leg bent. Lots of options. Remember, you are free to make all the choices you want, but you are responsible for the consequences of those choices. So if you're feeling pain, you're feeling discomfort, numbness, or tingling, make the choice to back out of the pose a little bit. Close your eyes for a moment. Find the areas that feel tight. As you inhale, imagine that those areas are expanding with your breath, with the energy of your breath. As you exhale, allow that area to melt just a little bit. Don't try to let go of all the tension, all the tightness, all. Let it slowly go with each exhale. Breathe. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. If that leg is straight, go ahead and let it bend. We're going to come back onto your back, but we're going to keep your right foot on the outside of your left knee. So roll back so that your back is flat. Your left foot gently on the outside of your right knee. That's a lie. Your right foot gently on the outside of your left knee. And then with an exhale, let your right knee just drop towards the floor so you're in a figure four position. Breathe. Breathe deep into your belly. Exhale slowly. You're just allowing the front of that right hip to open. So if this feels like pinching or pain in the groin, just take your right foot and put it below your left knee. Without struggle, without strain, breathe into the areas that are tight or feel restricted. And as you exhale, allow yourself to melt. Breathe. Deep inhale to your belly. Slow exhale one more time, allowing all the tension to release. The ceiling, fill your lungs to the bottom. As you exhale, let your arms fall to the floor behind you. And breathe. Inhale, reach back with the fingertips, reach forward with that left heel and feel that gentle stretch along the length of your body. As you exhale, let your arms float down, start to bring your left knee towards your chest. That will bring your right ankle with it. You're going to hold your hands behind the thigh of your left foot. Of your left leg, sorry. and gently draw your shoulders down, releasing them, drawing that left knee and that right ankle in towards your chest, breathing into the tightness. You're stretching your hip muscle, the piriformis on the right. It's a deep stretch, so if it feels like it's too much for you, back out. So we're holding this pose for another 45 seconds. See if you can bring yourself to the mindfulness of it. Feel it. Feel the stretch. Feel the depth of your breath. If you find your mind wandering, just gently bring it back to this moment. So a little later, we're going to do the pigeon pose. If this feels like, if the pigeon pose is too much for your knees or your practice, this is what you're going to do. It's a modification for the pigeon, stretching the exact same thing, just without the pressure on your knees. We're going to straighten your left leg up towards the ceiling as you exhale, pulling the toes of your left leg down, the heel reaching up, still stretching that piriformis on the right, and now we've added a little bit of the hamstring on the left. Breathe. Breathe deep into your belly. Exhale slowly. One more deep inhale to your belly here. One more slow exhale. And then we'll slowly bend that left knee, release your thigh, and let your left foot come to the ground. Just keep your right ankle rested there on top of your left knee. Let your shoulders relax, let your jaw relax. And then as you exhale, slowly, let your right leg start to slide over top of your left leg. So you're sitting in a cross-legged position. And with your next exhale, let both knees drop over towards your right. Be careful of your dog. She's not likely to move because she's the best dog in the world. So if you'd like, you can turn your head to the left. If that bothers your neck, just stare straight ahead and then bring your awareness to your hips. Just opening up that left hip a little bit, that left quadratus lumborum. So find the area that feels like tightness or restriction and breathe into it. Imagine that you're expanding it with your breath. As you exhale, see if you can melt. No struggles, no strains. If your mind wanders, bring it back to the spaces that feel tight, or to the depth of your breath, or to my dulcimer voice. One more deep inhale here. Bless you, Lola. One more slow exhale, and then slowly start to bring your knees back up towards the ceiling, your back flat to the floor. Bring that right ankle off the top of your left knee and bring it to the floor so that both knees are bent, both feet are flat. We're going to take a supine cobbler's pose, allowing both knees to drop out in opposite directions, bringing the palms of your feet together. So remember, you have choices here. If this feels uncomfortable in the hip or the groin, slide your feet down towards the bottom of your mat. Or put a pillow underneath of your knees to support the pose. Or you can even just make a fist with each of your hands and put it under the tops of your thighs out to the sides, so that your fists hold the weight of your legs. This is a great place to practice your diaphragmatic breath. If you'd like to practice and have a little bit of a feedback loop, take your right hand and place it on your belly. Take your left hand and place it on your chest. As you inhale, your belly with air so that right hand feels like it's rising, and then let the left hand rise as you fill the top of your chest. As you exhale, see if you can feel the hand on your chest fall first, followed by the hand on your belly. That's diaphragmatic breathing. That's filling your lungs from the bottom. Inhaling, the belly rises, the hand that lies on it rises with it, as the hand on the chest rises second. As you exhale, the hand on your chest falls first and the hand on your belly falls second. You may notice that your knees slowly drop out a little bit further as you exhale. One more deep inhale. One more slow exhale. And then we're going to slowly bring your knees back up to join each other. You can use your hands to lift them up to meet. It's perfectly fine. And then we're going to straighten your left leg all the way to the floor. So we're going to do the same sequence on the opposite side. The toes of the left foot pulled back, the heel gently reach forward. Taking your arms to the ceiling as you fill your lungs to the bottom with air. As you empty your lungs, your arms fall to the floor behind you. Make sure the toes of that left foot are pulled back and that heel reaching forward. It's creating an anchor so that as your arms move, it pulls gently on the fascia. Take a deep inhale, reaching back with your fingertips forward with the heels. As you exhale, let your arms float back down and by your sides. Follow the full length of your exhale. Try to slow it down. When your fingertips touch the floor, just reverse your direction, inhaling so that your arms rise up. Exhaling so that they fall to the floor behind you. Arms lie on the floor, you inhale, reaching back, lengthening. As you exhale, let your arms float back down and by your sides. One more time, following your own breath. Don't worry about your following my verbal cues. Follow your breath. Inhaling as your arms fill. Lift to the ceiling, lungs fill. As you exhale, the arms fall to the floor behind you. We're going to leave your arms there. We're going to take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, we're going to lift your left leg towards the sky. Let your arms float down to hold behind the thigh of your left leg. Breathe. Pull the toes down. Reach the heel up. Begin to feel the stretch in the hamstring. No struggles and no strains. Take a deep inhale to your belly. With an exhale, gently pull your left knee into your chest. Shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. Your breath fills the lungs to the bottom so you feel that belly pressing into the thigh. As you exhale, straighten your left leg up towards the sky. Pull the toes down, reach the heel up. So remember, we always try to move on an exhale. It just calms the central nervous system and helps the muscles to move with greater ease. A deep inhale. As you exhale, gently pull that left knee back into your chest. A deep inhale, your belly fills, it presses into the thighs. As you exhale, we're straightening that leg to the ceiling. Toes pulled down, heel reaching up. One more time with an exhale, pulling it into your chest. One more time with an exhale, straightening it to the sky. Then we're going to straighten your right leg all the way down to the ground. Remember, if it bothers your back, if it feels like it's too much for you, just leave a small bend in your right knee. We're going to point the toes of your left foot towards the ceiling and begin to circle them around as if you were drawing a circle on the ceiling. Try to slow it down so that you're connecting it to your breath, inhaling around one side of the circle, exhaling down the opposite side of the circle. And then reverse direction. Bring your awareness to the motion at that ankle. One more full circle. Then we'll bring your toes to point to the ceiling. Draw them down towards your nose. Reach that heel up. And as you exhale, draw that knee into your chest. Shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. Remove your left hand and just hold your left knee with your right hand. So your left arm can go out to the side like half of the letter T. And with an exhale, Use your right hand to draw your left knee across your body towards the right. You can turn your head to look over at your left arm if that doesn't bother your neck. If you'd like, you can gently anchor that by pushing down into your left hand, pushing down into your left elbow and your left shoulder. You have a choice here. You can either stay with that left knee bent, or you can grab the big toe or wrap your strap around the foot and straighten that left leg out to the floor. Find an expression of each and every pose that you can hold with ease, without struggle, without strain. Breathe into the areas that feel tight or restricted. No struggles and no strains. If you have that leg straight, squeeze your quadricep muscle. It helps to turn off the hamstring and that muscle down the side, the iliotibial band. Remember, we're holding these for a little bit longer, but if it doesn't feel good for you, let it go. One more deep breath into the tightness. One more slow exhale. Melting. And then if you have that left leg straight, go ahead and bend it. And then slowly roll back. Left foot resting on the outside of your right knee. Once you're flat onto the back, just allow your left knee to drop towards the floor, leaving your left ankle just rested above your right knee. If that feels uncomfortable for your hip, just take your right foot and put it below your left knee, or even remove it from the top of your knee altogether. You're stretching out the front of your left hip. This isn't a motion that we often do, so allow yourself to be gentle. Breathe. If your mind begins to wander, gently bring it back to the depth of your breath with a feeling of that stretch. With your next inhale, let your arms begin to rise up to the ceiling, your lungs filling from the bottom. With an exhale, let your arms fall to the floor behind you. With an inhale, reach back with your fingertips, reach forward with the heel, lengthen. With an exhale, draw your knee and your ankle towards your chest, let your arms float down to hold behind your right thigh. No struggles and no strains. Let your shoulders relax, let your jaw relax. Feel that deep stretch in that left hip. No pinching, no pain. We're breathing into the areas that feel tight, the areas that feel restricted, releasing any struggles, releasing any strains, and breathe. With each exhale, see if you can release a little bit of tension. See if you can draw that right knee and that left ankle a little closer to your chest. With an exhale, straighten your right leg out, the toes pull down, the heel reaching up, going back to a little bit more of that hamstring, but still stretching that left hip muscle, the piriformis. Breathe. One more deep inhale here. Really reach that heel towards the ceiling. Really pull those toes down. Feel that stretch. One more slow exhale. And then slowly begin to bend your right knee, releasing that right thigh and allowing your right foot to come to the floor. Taking your arms out to the side like the letter T. With an exhale, allow your left leg to just gently slide over the top of your right leg. And with your next exhale, both knees drop to the left. Gently turning your head to the right. Feel that right hip. Feel that right space between the rib cage and the top of your hip, and breathe into that.
As you exhale, see if you can release just a little bit of tension, a little bit of tightness. No struggles and no strains. The practice is in the awareness of the breath, the awareness of the stretch, the awareness of what is right or not right for your body. One more deep inhale here. One more really slow exhale. Allow that air to just drizzle out of your body. And then slowly, with an exhale, bring your back to flat. Uncross your legs so both knees are bent and both feet are flat. With your next exhale, the knees drop out in opposite directions, the supine cobbler's pose. Bottoms of your feet come together. Remember to slide your feet down towards the bottom of your mat if you feel any discomfort in your hips. If you'd like to practice your diaphragmatic breathing, bring your right hand to your belly, your left hand to your chest. With the inhale, your lungs fill to the bottom, the right hand rises, the left hand follows. With your exhale, the right hand follows. Bring your awareness to your breath, to your stretch. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then slowly bring your knees together. Use your hands if you'd like. Once your knees are together, draw them both into your chest, holding behind your knees. And breathe. Breathe so that your belly expands, pressing into your thighs. Slowly releasing your left foot to the ground, leave that knee bent. Slowly, with an exhale, straightening your right leg back to the ceiling, taking back some hamstrings, just getting them used to being nice and long and stretched out. Take a deep inhale here. This is an option. As an exhale, you can stay where you are or lift your head and chest, walking your hands up to the back of your right calf. So if you're up there raising that head and those shoulders, make sure you have no strain in your neck. Squeeze that right quadricep and make that leg straight. You can stay right there, or you can straighten your left leg all the way to the floor, but push down into the back of your left knee. Stay right there or raise your hands up towards your ankle. No struggles and no strains. Slowly lowering your head and shoulders, pulling your right knee back into your chest, bringing your left knee up to meet it, holding both knees behind. Breathe. No struggles, no strains. Releasing your right foot to the ground, that right knee bent, that right foot flat, both hands behind your left thigh. With an exhale, straightening the left thigh out, pulling the toes down, reaching the heel up. Breathe. Feel the stretch. Now you have the option of staying right where you are, or with an exhale, slowly lifting your head and shoulders from the floor, walking your hands up to the back of your left calf. Squeeze that quadricep muscle really tight. Pull the toes down and feel that stretch. Feel the strengthening. No struggle or strain in your neck. Stay here or release your right leg all the way to the ground, gently pushing the back of your right knee down into the floor. Stay here. Lift your hands up towards your ankle. Breathe. Slowly lowering your head and shoulders, bending your left knee, drawing it into your chest, bringing your right knee up to meet it. Shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. As you take deep inhale, your lungs fill, the belly presses into the thigh. We're going to begin to rock from head to toe.
So if this doesn't work for you, just go ahead and sit up. We're all going to be there in just a minute. Breathe. See if you can float up and sit on your sit bones. Your heels just an inch from the floor. Lift your chest, straighten your spine, and feel the strength of that pose. If you need, you can have your heels touch down. It's perfectly fine. Rock it back if you can and bring it up. Again, first, lift your chest. See if you can stay right there or straighten your right leg out. If you need to put down the left foot in order to do that, that's perfectly fine. Take it back. Bring it up. Stay right here, lifting your chest, lengthening your spine, or straighten your left leg out. You can put the right big toe down or even the whole right foot if that's what you need. Listen to your body. Take it back. Rock it up. Lift your chest, straighten your spine, then lift and straighten both legs. It's okay if you leave them bent. That's perfectly fine. Lift that chest. Feel the strength, and then rock it back. One more time. Bring it up. Straighten the legs or keep them bent. Keep your hands behind your thighs or release them for a full expression of the pose. No struggles and strains. And then bring yourself to an easy seated position. So we just did a little bit of that strengthening of the core because your arms and your legs move around it. It's one of the places when you contract it, it helps to get the fluid out of your legs, the fluid cleansing the lymph system. Your lymph system is like a mesh screen that everything goes through. It collects the bad stuff. Well, it needs to be emptied out, and that is really best accomplished through muscular contraction. So let's just take a moment here just to bring ourselves back to our awareness. We're going to go into the pigeon pose in just a minute, but first we're going to just loosen up our hips. Then we're going to go in the pigeon pose for a moment. So remember, if the pigeon is too much for you on your knees, just lie down on your back. Assume the position we were just in with your right ankle crossed to your left knee, drawing them both up into your chest. Doing it into the pigeon is great. It's one of my favorite poses, but it can be too much for your knees. You can also try and do the pigeon with something underneath of your hips if you're almost there and you feel like, I can almost do this. So we're going to start by loosening things up. We're going to get onto our hands and knees. So your hands are right underneath your shoulder. Your hips are just above your knees. What we're going to do is you're going to take your right ankle, lift it up, and then cross it over and let it rest right on the top of your left calf. So right above the ankle and your left calf. That's putting your right hip into a little bit of internal rotation. And now we're going to drop your hips back towards your heels. And then, so if you have tight hips, this is a really great way to loosen them up. That internal rotation is a difficult motion. It's the one that we use if we're sitting and we want to bring our ankle up towards our knee to put our shoes or our socks on. This is one that gets tight on people. If you're feeling like that hip needs a little bit more opening, just take that right ankle and place it right in the crease behind your knee. A little bit more internal rotation. And then bring your hips back towards your heels and forward. Follow your breath. Exhale with motion. No pinching, no pain. Beautiful. One more time. On the opposite side. So once you're back on all fours, just release that right ankle from the top of that left calf and do the opposite side. Lift your left foot, swing it in so that it comes to rest on the back of your left ankle or your left calf. Or if you need the advanced, bring it all the way up into the crease of your knee. And then with exhales, drop your hips down towards your heels. And breathe. Exhale, taking it back. Inhale, bringing it forward. Feel that stretch in your hip. I suggest people do this every night before they go to bed. We don't use our hips nearly as much as we should. Not in all the directions that are available to it. We sit most of the day, we use it to walk in one direction, but movement through its full range is what keeps the cartilage healthy. And when you don't have healthy cartilage, you end up with a hip replacement. Last time, bringing it back up. So you're going to take that ankle up off of that knee and we're going to curl your toes under. We're going to come into a down dog to get into our pigeon. We're going to start on the right. So if you have a block or a pillow Bring it over to your right side. Most of us, if that right hip isn't touching the floor, you need to have something underneath of it to support it. The reason for that is if that hip is floating up off the ground, you've got all these muscles tightening and trying to support you in space. When it's sitting on the ground, it allows you to release and relax. So fingers spread wide right underneath your shoulders, creases of your elbows turn forward, curl the toes of your feet under, and then lift your knees from the floor into a down dog. Breathe for me. Let your head, everybody say it together, dangle. Close your eyes here for a moment. If your heels aren't touching the floor, that's perfectly fine. You can bend one knee. We call it walking the dog. Bend your right knee and push back into the left knee, trying to straighten it as best you can. And then gently switch. So you can just sit there and do that and just walk the dog, or try to get both heels towards the floor as you push the back of your knees to the wall behind you. Lifting your toes from the floor can be helpful. We're going to inhale your right leg up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to exhale, bring your right knee towards your left elbow. It doesn't have to touch the elbow. You just bring it in that direction. Inhale the right leg to the ceiling. Exhale, bring your right knee to your forehead. And then push it back up. Last one, we're going to take your right knee to your right wrist and then try to bring your right ankle towards your left wrist. This is where the block comes in. If your hip isn't touching the floor, slide a block, slide a pillow, slide a medium-sized dog or child underneath of your hip. So we're going to start right here where we are. We're going to try and push down into the floor to lengthen our spine. Remember, if this is painful for your knees, flip onto your back. Do the modified version. Allow yourself the benefit of the pose without any damage. Push down with an inhale, lift your chest. Either stay right here or come down to your elbows. Breathe. You may need to stay on straight arms for about 3 or 4 deep inhales and then slowly go down to your elbows. That's perfectly fine. If you're progressing the pose, if this is too easy for you, what you're trying to do is bring your right ankle all the way up to your left elbow. Stay right here, or with an exhale, bring your chest all the way to the floor. We're going to hold this pose for about a minute. So if it feels uncomfortable for you, please back out of it. If you're in the depth of this pose and you're feeling your breath and you're breathing into the tightness, you're exhaling out any restrictions, any judgments, you're keeping your mind in this moment. Breathing deeply. Allowing your body to be where it is, not trying to force it into something it's not ready for. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. We've got about 20 seconds left here. If that's too much for you, just allow yourself to come up and out of the pose. No struggles, no strains. One more really deep inhale. Fill your belly with air. Feel it pressing against your thigh. One more really slow exhale, melting. And then slowly push yourself up to your elbows. If you're all the way down, push yourself up to straight arm. Curl the toes of your left foot under. Squeeze that left quadricep so the left knee comes up off the floor, and then push back into down dog. Shoulders relax. Let your neck relax. Push the back of your knees to the room behind you and breathe. Take a deep inhale, letting the left leg rise up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bring your left knee to your left elbow. Your right elbow. Sorry. Inhale that left leg up. Bring your left knee to your forehead. Inhale that left knee up. Bring your left knee to your left wrist. Bring your left ankle to your right wrist and slide down into your pigeon. Supporting that left hip, if it's not touching the floor, Shoulder blades back, lift your chest up, inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, staying where you are or bringing yourself down to your elbows. Remember, a progression of this is try to bring that left ankle all the way up by your right elbow. Stay right here, or with an exhale, drop all the way down to your chest. Listen to your body. We get into a lot of trouble when we don't listen, when we think, oh, there's just a little pinch, I can work through it. Yoga is being aware. Yoga is about breathing. Yoga is about allowing your body to be in the place that it is. Yoga doesn't force, doesn't judge. We've got 30 seconds left in this pose, so try to find a place that feels delicious, where it just feels good. No struggles, no strains. One more deep inhale. One more slow exhale. And then slowly begin to push yourself to your elbows, and then just straight arms. Curl the toes of your right foot under. Squeeze your leg muscles so that your knee rises up, and then push into down dog. Breathe. Shake your head yes and no. Make sure it stayed relaxed. The legs straight. The hips rising up towards the sky. Bring your chest a little closer to your thighs. And then look forward to your hands. Jump or step your feet to meet your hands. Straighten your legs for a forward fold. Slowly bringing yourself up to a standing position. Beautiful. So we're going to do a couple of balance poses. So actually we're going to do one balance pose. We're going to do the tree pose because it's my favorite. In tree pose, you have lots of options. You can stand next to a counter or a sofa, something steady. A chair isn't such a great idea. If you begin to fall, that chair is just going to fall on top of you. So start by bringing your feet underneath of your knees and your knees underneath of your hips. Spread the toes out wide. We're going to bring your hands into heart center. Shoulder blades are down your back. Part of the thing that keeps you strong and not falling over is a contraction of a muscle that starts at the bottom of your shoulder blade and goes all the way down to the back of your hips. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale, bring your right knee up towards your chest. So be mindful of your hips. If you'd like, you can put your hands on your hips. If you see that one's higher than the other, then all you're doing is tilting to the side. You're not really using the flexors, the hip flexors. So your right knee is up, your hips are level. As you exhale, take your right knee out to the side. Now we're going to plant the tree. You're either going to bring the floor and let the heel come on the inside of your left calf, or you're going to bring your foot to the inside of your left calf, or on the inside of your left thigh. Now the caution here, is that you want to make sure that if your foot is on that calf or the thigh, that you're pushing your left leg into your right foot. Otherwise, you're going to be straining what's called your lateral collateral ligament, and that's no fun. Push the right knee to the back of the room behind you. If you find one spot to stare at, it will help with your balance. Inhaling your arms up to the ceiling, and then separate your arms like the branches of a tree. Shoulder blade pulled down your back. Feel the strength of the pose. Don't worry about whether you're losing balance. This is meant to build balance. So find something to give yourself support and confidence. Drop your right arm down, lift your left arm up. Lengthen through those fingertips on the left. Then bring your right arm up and drop your left arm down. Bring both arms together. We're going to take that leg out to the side and then forward, straightening the leg out, pulling the toes back. Taking that leg behind you, if you'd like to, take it into Warrior Three. Haven't done that for a while. Drop that right hip a little bit. And then slowly bring your right foot to meet your left. Nice. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So spread the toes of your right foot out, creating a large base of support. The wider your toes are, the more support you get, and even a little bit helps in these. Hands are in the heart center. As you inhale, your left knee rises up towards the level of your hip without your hip rising. Again, put one hand on each hip and see that they're equal height. If they're not, then you're contracting the wrong muscle here. Take it out to the side and then plant your tree. Wherever you're going to plant it's fine. Big toe on the floor, hand on a chair, or preferably something more sturdy. Foot on the inside of your calf or foot on the inside of your thigh. Push your right leg into your left foot. I'm having troubles today. Woo! Some days you're the bug, some days you're the windshield. So push that right leg into the left foot for stability around the knee. Inhale the arms to the ceiling. Shoulder blades down your back, and then separate your branches. Feel the strength of the pose. Drop your right arm, lift your left arm, and reach. Talking and balance at the same time are hard. It's like math. Right arm up, left arm down. Reach to the ceiling with the fingertips. And then bring your left hand up to meet your right. Press into the palms as you bring it down to heart center. Whoa! And then release the leg out to the front, pull the toes back, reach it forward, drop your left hip, and then bring it back to a standing pose. Beautiful. So we're going to make our way to the floor and to final relaxation. You can do that through the squat and the crow, or just go ahead and lie down to your back. So if you're doing it through the squat, we're going to step your feet wider than your hips. Your palms stay pressed into each other, and then gently bring yourself down. Your knees come in between your knees. Your knees come in between your knees, silly boy. Your elbows come to the inside of your knees. I can always cut that out in the editing process. So you're trying to get your spine up straight. You're trying to drop your hips, your sacrum down. So push into your hands and lift your chest. You can put a block underneath of your hips if this feels like it's too much for your knees, or you can just not do it. We're going to take it to the crow. Spread your fingers out. Small bend in your knees. Bring yourself forward. So you can put a block underneath your forehead if you need to give you a third point of reference. You can lift one foot and then put it down, lift the other foot, or lift both up, trying to bring your big toes together, and then look forward to a spot about an inch in front of your head. Breathe. Release your crow. Gently bring yourself to a lying down position onto your back. So final relaxation is meant to be comfortable for you. If you choose, you can do it sitting. You can do it sitting in a chair. You can do it sitting in a lazy boy recliner. So I'm going to ask you to just let your arms lie by your sides. And I'm going to ask you to bring your attention to a deep inhale, to a slow exhale. Deep inhales, slow exhales. With each exhale, you can feel yourself melting into the floor. So today I'm going to do a meditation without words. Just trying to bring your awareness to stillness. I have a singing bowl here. I'm going to chime every minute. It's just a sign for you to check in. Has my mind wandered? The sounding of the singing bowl is meant to draw you back, to give you the awareness and opportunity to bring your mind back to stillness. In this meditation, you want to make notice. You want to make notice if your mind jumps to the future or retreats to the past, and make the choice to bring it back to stillness. So start with one deep inhale through your nose to the bottom of your lungs, and with your exhale, melt into the floor and bring your mind to stillness. We'll slowly start to bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, bringing awareness to the small joints of your hands and your feet. And then stretch your fingers apart, stretch your toes apart. Feel the space between them. And let your hands and your feet relax. Gently let your head begin to rock from side to side, just loosening the muscles of your neck, bringing awareness to the spine. And let your head come to rest wherever it finds itself comfortable. Take a deep inhale. Fill your lungs from the bottom. Let your arms rise up towards the ceiling. With an exhale, let your arms fall to the floor behind you. Take a deep inhale. Reach back with your fingertips. Reach forward with your heels. And as you exhale, draw your knees into your chest. Let your arms float down to hug them in. Breathe so that your belly fills with air, expanding, pressing into your thighs. And then if you'd like, you can begin to rock from side to side, just letting the floor massage your spine out. And then when you're ready, roll onto your lying in a fetal position for just another moment. Use your hands to make a pillow for your head or slide the block underneath of your head, just to keep your neck in a neutral position. And bring your awareness to one more deep inhale. One more slow exhale. And then when you're ready, push yourself up to an easy seated position. A position where your spine is straight and at ease, where you have equal weight on your sit bones. You can sit in a chair that's perfectly fine. If you're sitting in the chair, try to sit at the edge of it so your back is not supported, where you can work on strengthening and lengthening the spine. Let the backs of your hands come to rest on the tops of your knees. Close your eyes as you take a deep inhale to the bottom of your lungs, lengthening your spine. With an exhale, see if you can hold that tall and lengthened posture with ease. Take another deep inhale, lengthening your spine. With an exhale, bring your hands into heart center in a prayer position, your thumbs gently pressed against your chest. You guys did a wonderful job once again. Remember, this is all about movement and breath. It's about stillness and mindfulness. You guys did a great job. If you have the ability in your a small donation to our charity, this week's charity is Feeding South Florida. They are a group of different food banks that all get together to provide meals for people that are in need. It's a really great charity. You don't have to do it through Facebook. You can certainly go right to their webpage. But I encourage you, if it's within your means to do so, please do. And if it's not, accept this class from us as our gift. As always, if you want to watch this during the week or share it with anybody, you can certainly do that. It is here on our Facebook page at Back to Health. It's also on my new webpage, body-guru.com. If you get a chance to go check that out, I'd appreciate it. Click on some of the videos, like them, and subscribe to them. I post each week's class there. They're totally free to share with and do as you like. I would like to thank Chris and Lola for every week helping me set this up, and I want to thank you guys for showing up. Thank you. Namaste, and have a wonderful day. We'll see you next Saturday.